guys, I'm Rodin. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is the weekend reading for September 16th to the 18th. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment if you want to. You don't have to. If you do want to subscribe, make sure your notification settings are set to your liking. And if you primarily watch YouTube on your phone, make sure your YouTube notifications are on. I was checking my what are they called? Words. Oh, this Mercury retrograde. I was going to say alternatives. Analytics for the channel, and it said that most people have turned the notifications on, but they turned off the YouTube notifications. So it's like, even if YouTube like is telling you BOMISpirit uploaded a new video, it won't tell you on your phone because you turned it off on your phone. So something to think about if you're like, why am I not getting my notifications for all my favorite channels? That could be why YouTube notifications are off. So check your phones if you watch primarily on your phone. Anyway, just had to do that little spiel. The way this works, I go over the astrology of the week and I give you my 2 cents on it. Now with astrology, I always like to mention, if I remember to mention, that astrology is a fun discipline and I have enjoyed it my whole life. Ever since I was a little kid, I was very fascinated by it and I've studied it on and off since I was probably like 9 or 8. Casually studied it. And so I like to share it with you. I use astrology in my own life. I don't live my life, like every detail of my life according to astrology. Like I won't avoid making certain decisions or having certain experiences just because of astrology. And I don't recommend you live your life that way. It could be very limiting and restrictive. It's really just a way to help us understand what energies are at play and how to adapt if we are struggling or if we want to capitalize on some stuff, right? So just, that's my 2 cents on astrology. And then I go ahead and I pull some cards and do some channel messages. So I've recently been doing like by the sign, and I might continue that. We'll see how my energy is by the time I finish talking about what's going down for the weekend. Okay. Excuse me. So as far as this weekend is concerned, we don't have any major transits happening. The moon is going to go from Gemini to Cancer throughout the weekend. Now we do have the last quarter moon happening in Gemini, I believe at 24 degrees on Saturday. It's going to be interesting because it aligns with many other planets, and also I believe Ceres is going to be at 24 degrees Leo, and I'm going to talk about that. But when we have a last quarter moon, the energy tends to pick up. When we have first quarter moon and last quarter moon, it tends to put us in a position of wanting to take action and sometimes even letting go, especially if we are on the brink of new moon. I swear Mercury retrograde, because new moons are all about clean slate, and so you have this period of time right before a new moon where you're getting ready for that clean slate energy. Personally, for me, in new moons, I tend to have more physical energy, and full moons tend to make me pass the fuck out. But that's just me. Everybody's different. But just know that the last quarter moon is happening Gemini on the 17th. Now, I want to paraphrase what's going down this weekend before I get into the nitty gritty for those of you who don't want to know all the details. So we have this really strong mercurial energy happening this week, very strong Mercury air energy. And it's really great because it is helping us to be very confident and helping us like with our communication styles, but also confident with any new ideas that are coming through to us over the weekend as far as problem solving is concerned, making plans, getting into new things. A lot of news been going down recently, like new projects, new relationships, new business ideas, new hobbies, like just getting the idea of wanting to do things differently. And that still is at play here for the weekend, and it's very well aspected. However, with all this mental energy, we do have Venus square Mars, and Mars is also in this pre-shadow phase for retrograde. Mercury's already retrograding. So we do have some aspects this weekend that might make it hard to physically implement what it is you're thinking of doing with these grand ideas in a practical way. So just keep that in mind. That can lead to frustration, that can lead to friction. The other thing that's going on, there are some emotional processes and needs that are on the table for the weekend, but could be really overshadowed by all this mental energy and very confident, empowered mental energy. And if you do ignore that, it could lead to some disappointments, it could lead to some friction, it could lead to some setbacks. And these emotional needs might not even be very big. It could even just be needing to be more compassionate with people, needing to speak with a little bit of tact, right? Or even just some self-care. So again, something to keep in mind, especially towards the end of the weekend when we hit the moon in Cancer and it's working with Pallas Athena in Cancer, that need that, yeah, the importance, the significance of those emotional needs are going to be way more in your face. They're going to be way more important to deal with. The other thing about some of these emotional processes, there is also Chiron in Aries is still working with many planets at this time too. And Chiron for a while now, I want to say probably for 2 months. Time is weird. So anytime I like give you stuff like that, like the last 2 months, it's like it's a little fuzzy because I timelines are changing all the time. Time is an illusion, time is weird. But it feels like it's in the last 2 months. Chiron has been helping us to let go of these old versions of ourselves. That's been huge for the collective, especially for those of you who are on this very awakened spiritual path. And what I mean by that is we're always on the path, but you're aware. You're aware that you're on the path and you're having ascension symptoms and experiences and things of that nature. You know, you're really shedding some versions of yourself that have always been with you that are just going away finally. There's been a lot of dissolving of cords. That's been a collective message that I've been getting that I keep meaning to do a video about. We'll see if I get to it. Anyway, I know lots of stuff to tell you. Yeah, so Chiron's helping us with that still. So still potential there to allow for letting go and releasing of old versions of yourself, insecurities and wounds and old narratives, old stories that will facilitate creating a new path in all of this beautiful, big new idea energy to push forward into the new. So I would capitalize on that personally. If you haven't been doing that kind of work or you've been ignoring it, there's been a couple signs of been ignoring it. I'm not going to call you out. Capitalize on that. Don't totally neglect that. The other thing, yeah, getting caught up in the mind. As we get more caught up in the mind this weekend, it can lead to a little bit more impulsivity, a little bit of a rebellious energy, ballsy energy, especially if you're getting ideas to try things you've never tried, things that are that out of the mundane, things that are atypical, especially things that are a little taboo or go against like mainstream norms. You might feel even more brazen to do that, and it might actually rub against other people in your life the wrong way and could create some conflicts or frustrations there. Now, with Venus also square Mars still present this weekend, there's also going to be more sexual energy. And Venus towards the beginning of the weekend is also going to be trine Uranus, also kind of amplifying that sexual energy. And the sun will also be trine Pluto, also amplifying that sexual energy. So the sexual energy is going to be very prominent, but more so on the Friday, Saturday, it really will start to get weaker. I'm not going to say put her out. It'll still be there, but get weaker towards Sunday. But yeah, Friday, especially Friday, sexual energy is going to be high, but that square with Venus and Mars and even the Uranus activity with Venus, it can create a little bit of sexual aggression or wanting things to be frisky, kinky, if you will. Very not traditional, very not vanilla. Okay. And if that's not your jam, that's not your jam. That's fine. Whether you're in a relationship or not, just know this energy is at play. Some of you are going to have a lot of fun with it. Some of you, not so much. That also leads to short tempers. Sexual energy is passion. It's passion, it's creative energy, it's life-giving energy. You can channel this into creative endeavors or a lot of physical activity like working out or playing sports. It doesn't have to be so centered around sex itself. But for some of you, it will be. So, so use that as you will in your own life, okay? But that's a quick rundown of everything going down this weekend. Now, I guess I kind of already talked about the aspects here. Yeah, I kind of did. So a couple of things I want to mention. The Sun and Venus and Mercury are playing some of the largest roles this weekend. Okay. Venus is square Mars and is also trine Uranus, like I said. The Sun is also trine Pluto, but is also opposing Neptune. So we do have a little bit of a mixed bag happening on top of this with the way the Sun is positioned. So as I was writing this down, you know, a couple of things where I was coming to me as channeled messages. I'm gonna get my words about myself, I swear. This all comes down to how you focus your energy, how you're grounding yourself. And it always comes down to that. But when we have such a mixed bag, like how I'm about to talk about, things can really go either way, especially when we have Jupiter in the mix, that Mercury opposing Jupiter, which will also still be there under the words. New Moon Libra. New Moon Libra next week will actually be opposing Jupiter very closely. So we have this Jupiter energy that's just been kind of hanging over our heads now for a couple weeks, and it's going to continue. But anyway, I digress. So this mixed bag energy with the Sun opposing Neptune, that can create a little bit of a scared energy, kind of like timid, a little confused, a little insecure, not really sure which way to go, what to do. But with Pluto, the trine to Pluto is very opposite. It's very focused. It's a very focused energy. It's an intense energy. It's an empowered energy. It's feeling like you can understand the ins and outs of what's going on around you and with who you're dealing with. It's a very strong, very almost scorpionic energy, even though they're both in earth signs. So as I was looking at this, one of the channel messages I was getting is really lean into that earth energy. There's going to be a lot of security to be found there. So I would look to your personal houses for where you have Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, all three of them. I'd focus on Virgo because Virgo's kind of stealing the show this weekend. Keep forgetting it's a weekend reading. Where you have earth sign energy in your personal houses, focus on those aspects of your life and you'll probably find a lot of grounding. You'll probably find a lot of comfort, a lot of personal power, a lot of confidence. Again, don't neglect the emotional stuff. And I'm going to talk again about that really, really, really soon. But yeah, Neptune, like the watery energy, is where things might get a little confusing, a little bit. I still feel like we're getting some intense downloads through the house of Pisces, around the house of Pisces, around Pisces energy. But around this weekend, it could be a little confusing with the Sun opposing Neptune. So just something to keep in mind. Lean into earth. Water might be a little confusing. Okay. I've talked about Venus. So I know a lot of things I've mentioned might sound like cautionary tales, and it's not meant to scare you. I'm just being very honest with the stuff that's happening. There are some positives too. When we have Venus trine Uranus, we get excited to try new shit. We get excited to be creative in ways we've never been creative before. It's a very nice, creative, intelligent energy, but it also really spices up relationships. It can bring in relationships into our lives as well. And relationships that are also very activating for us, that get us to think in ways we never thought before, to open our minds. And with them both being in earth signs, also can have a really positive influence on the earthly aspects of our lives. So again, focusing, leaning into that earth energy. So it's not like it's bad, just things to be aware of, not stress out about, just be aware of, right? Mercury. Mercury opposing Jupiter. That energy is going to be really strong on Sunday, and then in the following Monday, watch the weekly that'll come out on Monday. If you're a patron, then you already have access to that weekly. My nose has been so itchy. Sorry. I actually had put tea tree oil on it because I was worried something was on it because it was so itchy, and I'm trying not to touch it. Anyway, Mercury opposing Jupiter. This is the big idea energy. This is that optimistic thinking, figuring shit out, problem solving, new plans, new ideas. Oh, I could do this. I could do that. I can do whatever I want. But the opposition to Jupiter creates an impulsivity. Okay. And if you really act on that impulsivity, there's also, I kept getting this lack of tact and lack of compassion. That's something that kept coming through over the weekend. That's a channeled message. That's not based off the astrology. That's a channeled message. But I could see how it could tie into the astrology. Be mindful. It could lead to disappointments. It could lead to setbacks. It could lead to getting yourself into a circumstance that you're not really ready to get into, or you aren't really ready to be committed to or obligated to, or you don't have space for, whether it's a relationship or otherwise, right? Relationships might be really big here for the next like week or two. I'm going to say 2 weeks. For the next 2 weeks, relationships are going to be very big for most people. Okay. Now, there is some asteroid activity, and here's something else that kind of relates back to Chiron and the letting go of old versions of ourselves, honoring some of our emotional needs and our emotional processes. The north node, the north node in Taurus is aspecting Venus in Virgo, Mars in Gemini, and Chiron and Aries. All four of those are aspecting each other in some way, shape, or form through sextiles, through trines. We do see also semi-sextiles in there too between all four of them. Okay, so they're all connected to each other. They're all relating to each other. The North Node and Chiron, though, they're acting as bridges through semi-sextiles with Venus and Mars. I almost said Aries, with Venus and Mars. Venus and Mars are in that square. That creates the sexual frustration. That creates this difficulty with trying to implement things in a practical way, but you're kind of like really in your mind about things. Also with Venus square Mars, something I wanted to mention too, it creates this battle between theoretical and practical, which is kind of what I've been talking about, where you got all these ideas, but you're not seeing how to practically implement them, and there's a little bit of a fight and frustration there. But coming back, so there's that frustrating aspect. But North Node and Taurus and Chiron and Aries are both bridging to Venus and Mars and between each other. So there is some saving grace here. So when you're finding yourself in moments of fighting yourself between the practical, the theoretical, or you're having relationship issues, or you're having a lot of frustration and anger, or even sexual frustration, or, you know, finding yourself in situations where your libido is also kind of amped up and you're struggling with that, lean into North Node Taurus, lean into Chiron and Aries, into letting go of old stories of yourself, letting go of restrictions, letting go of old versions of yourself and wounds and insecurities, and allowing for changes to come in and opportunities to happen that will facilitate a new path, a path that is aligned to more of a collective goal or a collective path. Okay. So how would that look? Like if there's a relationship issue you have and your relationship is not the healthiest, but you know, it's not terrible, it's going to be highlighted with Venus square Mars. It just will. It's just how it goes. This is a chance to do something different. It's a chance to reflect on what you're bringing to the table that's contributing to the conflict and deal with it. Let it go, process it, try to make a change there somewhere for yourself, not necessarily for the other person unless you want to. That's totally up to you. I'm not saying you should do it that way, and allow for a new direction to kind of show up, right? So just as an example, if this is more about implementing ideas like work-wise or with your life or whatever it is, pet projects, there's going to be frustration with how to do it. This is a time to get real, to get practical, and to see how you can assert yourself differently to adjust for this and maybe take a detour, maybe adapt in some way. That also goes really hand in hand with Mars retrograde, this whole 6-month cycle that we're in. We're in the pre-shadow. The pre-shadow started this month, but it doesn't go retrograde till the end of October, and then it goes stationary direct in January. So during the whole retrograde period of time, like we're getting ready for that right now. We're getting set up to deal with the big challenges between October and January right now. So whatever's going down in your reality now, and the last, like, I want to say since September 6th, that feels right. The date's in my head for some reason. Since September 6th, everything that's coming up right now around your own masculine energy, how you assert yourself, how you follow through, make plans, that sort of deal, is going to be even more highlighted between October and January. And that's going to be the bulk of what it is you're facing and what you're growing through with Mars retrograde and your own personal masculine energy. Whew. Go watch Mars retrograde video. I'll try to remember to put a card here, but it should pop up on your suggested videos. Anyway, so lean into Chiron, lean into North Node, let the changes happen. Now, I want to talk about Pallas Athena really quick, and then we're going to move on. So Pallas Athena is square Jupiter and Mercury. Remember, Mercury and Jupiter are opposing each other, right? Creating that the big thinking energy, right? The big mercurial energy. With the square to Pallas Athena, it goes hand in hand with what I was saying about emotional care and needs. When Pallas Athena is in Cancer, it tends to heighten our emotional intelligence and takes into account everybody's emotional needs and brings in more compassion into the situation for problem solving, for mediation, for what is all right in the world. Also, it's very Venusian. Pallas Athena is very Libran. So there's a Venusian quality to it of beauty and art and all of that good stuff, right? But with that square to Jupiter and Mercury, whatever mental energy you're finding yourself in can really overshadow those important things, almost like overshadowing the feminine a little bit here. And then when the moon moves back into Cancer on Sunday, it's going to really hit us in the face if we've been really ignoring that. Okay. Anything else here? I did also go day by day. I'm just seeing if there's anything new that I haven't mentioned yet. Oh, yeah, the last quarter moon. So Friday, a lot of mental energy and a lot of like sexual energy. We move into Saturday, we move into that last quarter moon, and then Ceres at 24 degrees Leo comes into play because the last quarter moon's happening at Gemini, 24 degrees. So Ceres is actually going to be sextile the moon on like right exactly when the last quarter moon is happening. But because of that, we have some bridging aspects happening with the sun and Neptune because they're both working with the moon at that time, and they're both working with Ceres at that time, and Ceres and the moon are working together. So you see what I'm saying by bridging. So it actually kind of amps up this fight energy, is what I was getting, like really serious. Like Friday, you're kind of stewing in your sexual energy, you're kind of stewing in your thoughts and wanting to do something, right? And then come Saturday, you get that last quarter moon energy of do shit now, let go of old stuff. And then you get this amped up Ceres connection that's amplifying the sun and the Neptune and how it's dealing with the moon. And then we go into overdrive with it a little bit, with really needing to take action, needing to be taken seriously, needing to be seen for who and what we are, needing to be seen in all the powerfulness that we have as individuals. But with that Neptune at play, there could be something about this that could be unrealistic. Okay, it could be a little unrealistic. So there could be some fights that happen as a result of this. But think of it that way. Friday, you're stewing, you're marinating, you're getting more amped up. Saturday, you just like you got to do something about it, and that people need to respect you and acknowledge something about you that you want to express to people. Yeah, I wrote it down this way. I have skills, I have good ideas, I need to do something with them and be respected and seen for the powerful person that I am. Conflicts and frustrations and overconfidence to result, most likely. So be mindful. And then moving into Sunday, things get emotional because the moon moves into Cancer. And then we get hit with this understanding and recognition of, oh, I might have not been so tactful. I might not have been so compassionate with other people in the last few days. I think I need to reflect on that. Or maybe you haven't been taking care of yourself. It just feels like emotion really comes up to the surface from whatever conflicts or strife or frustrations you've been dealing with because you've been so in the mind. It's been overshadowing the heart, and time to just sort of deal with it. Okay. And that might come through in your relationships where there needs to be some accountability taken. I do think in the following week after this weekend, so the 19th to the 25th, we're going to see apologies, especially under the new moon Libra, apologies and confessions, and a lot of exercising of the voice is going to be happening. But this weekend, a lot of mental energy, a lot of sexual energy, there's frustration. There's people exerting their frustrations in unhealthy ways or impulsive ways that might most likely will backfire. If you honor any emotional processes that are wanting to happen, giving yourself that space, it's going to work out great. If you also lean into the earthly matters of your life, wherever you have Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus in your personal houses, also you're going to find a lot of confidence and grounding there, and maybe even some great ideas you can actually capitalize on. I think you're going to get more clarity on those things the following week under New Moon Libra. Okay? I know it was a lot. I hope you had your notebooks. Now, as far as the signs, Earth, actually mercurial signs. I was going to say Earth signs first, but mercurial signs, my Virgos, and then my Geminis, you're going to be the most affected. Like, and again, when I say that, for those who are new, the intensity of the energies you're probably going to feel the most, especially for my Virgo moons and Gemini moons. I would actually look at a large degree range for that. Normally I give like a 5-degree range, like 20 to 25 or 15 to 20. But considering everything going down this weekend in Virgo, even in Gemini, I would look at 15 to 25 degrees, Virgo and then Gemini. I would keep your eye on Pisces. It's just Pisces might not be super reliable for you to feel comfortable and secure this weekend. So I wouldn't lean in too much into your house of Pisces. If it's like a very tangible house, like for example, if you have Pisces 4th house, I'd probably avoid family for a little bit. I wouldn't be hanging out of the house too much, if you can help it. It might just actually make you a little stir crazy. It might make things a little murky for you, like just as an example. Okay. And of course, look to your personal houses for all of this is happening. 15 to 25 degrees Virgo, and then Gemini, for a lot of this is probably going to go down, or where you're going to feel a lot of these emotional stirrings. Okay. Okay. All right. Time for cards? Time for cards. I'm going to go just a sippy sip. I'm going to decide if I'm going to do elements or signs. Elements or signs. Elements or signs. I always get so torn because when I do the signs, I feel like there's so much detail that comes out. I know you guys really love that, but it just takes a lot out of a girl. It really does. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. We're gonna do elements. I feel like I just heard someone go, okay. Yeah, we're gonna do elements. Who are we starting with? Fire, air, earth, or water? Oh, water. You guys just sucked me in real hard. We'll go with you guys. And actually, you guys want a classic tarot deck. That's just what was shown to me. They actually showed me Nine of Swords, Death card, Five of Cups. I hope that's not going to be the reading for you. We'll see what comes out. We'll see what comes out. Like I said, water, the element of water this weekend might make things feel a little murky, but also may facilitate a lot of letting go too. So there is the upside of that. Okay. So I'm going to go with Rider Waite. For my water signs, for Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh. Yeah, I feel like random moments of crying. I feel loneliness here. Venus square Mars can what's the word? Words are so hard. Venus square Mars can have a tendency to create a loneliness feeling. A misunderstood sort of a feeling. I'm really feeling my Scorpios here. I feel like you guys are like getting into a little bit of a dark bubble, and that's not that it's a bad thing, hiding under a rock, but it just feels like dense emotions. And sometimes we need to have those moments, right? Sitting in a dark pool is kind of how it feels. But I don't think that's gonna be the whole weekend. But definitely for my water signs, there is this feeling of like you could easily get into a place where you're feeling a little, I'll just say a little dark, a little heavy emotion. But I don't think that's going to be the whole weekend for you. Any messages or insights for my water signs for the weekend? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Four of Pentacles in reverse is the first card. So there is some sort of opening, releasing happening. I got to be honest, I'm also getting this feeling of losing control. Losing control, and I'm feeling anxiety there. I'm feeling a lot of anxiety with this for my water signs. Some of you who've been struggling financially, the emotion behind that is catching up with you. Cry it out. It's okay. When we struggle financially, anybody in this world struggles financially, it definitely has this feeling of like shit is not safe. Are things gonna be okay? And that can be very, very freaking emotional. And sometimes we don't allow ourselves to just experience the emotion of that, because we're trying so hard to like make sure shit is okay. Let yourself cry it out, especially because it's stressful. Just get that out of your body. But there is an opening that's happening here, a cleansing, if you will, for my water signs. A letting go. Some of you are also letting go to something or someone that you've really been clenching on to very tightly. You're going to feel better that you did, but I feel like the process of letting it go is really hard. Ooh. I don't know if you can see that. My right eye, the second I said that, like twitched really hard. It went like, yes, saying truth, speaking truth. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, some of you guys that's hitting so hard. Whatever it is you've been holding on to so tightly and you're learning to let it go, it's a really hard process. another thing I need to talk about in a whole other video. Some of you, it's something that's literally rooted. So we use these terms when we're talking about like how certain things sit in the body, or patterns and thought forms, and oh, they're deeply rooted. It's been with you for a long time. But when I say rooted, I mean like it has a root system. There are things that can sit in the body, especially ancestral generational stuff, that have literal roots. Okay. That can go through your system, that can sit in different parts of your body. And some of you are literally pulling this root out. Okay. So a lot going on in one card for my water signs. What else for my water signs here? I can't believe how much my eye freaked out. It almost hurt. Any other messages or insights for my water signs for this weekend? It's interesting too, and I think this goes hand in hand with the anxiety I'm feeling with this letting go for you. There's I'm getting the word protection. I'll start there. I'm getting the word protection. And this is the whole wanting to feel safe and wanting things to be okay. But I'm feeling in relation to people. Some of you, I think, have been setting a strong boundary with people or doing the hermit thing. Like I said, I kind of feel like, especially my Scorpios, like you guys are like hiding a little bit. Cancers, I think you're hiding a little bit too in your shell because it feels safe, almost like you need that much energetic space while you're yeah, thank you. They said yes. So while you're processing this and going to this place of letting go and releasing or dealing with emotions from having financial issues or scarcity issues, you need a lot of energetic space while you're doing this because it's a very sensitive process. Like you just feel very vulnerable during it. Oh my God. Speaking of vulnerable, Queen of Cups with the Cancer energy here. Yeah, look, a lot of water, a lot of water, a lot of water, a lot of reflecting, a lot of feeling. Okay. A lot of water, a lot of feeling, a lot of reflecting. But also it's a healing energy too. You guys are very deep within yourselves this weekend, water signs. Very, very deep within yourselves. I keep feeling this pull to financial issues. Excuse me. Yeah, I keep feeling this pull to financial issues. If you guys have been really like mentally focused on it, I'm not saying you've blown it up bigger than it is because I understand the stress behind that. But the more you've focused on it from a mental standpoint, it's almost like the more it's become distorted, like the harder it's been to see your way out of it. And again, I feel this built up, pent up emotion and stress and anxiety behind it too. And I think that's why you need to let it go. Let go of the anxiety, let go of the stress, give yourself permission to cry it out, scream, whatever. And it's going to help kind of move the way you see it out of a distorted view. And also just relax a little bit, get yourself back to a place of feeling emotionally more stable. Oh, but like I said, it's called you Scorpios, water signs. Some of you are definitely going through a clearing of some kind, an emotional clearing of some kind, a letting go of something that has been literally rooted within yourself here. Okay. Let's see what else. Any other messages or insights for my water signs? Oh, beautiful. I love it. Ooh, was that the Lover's card? I don't know. We'll see. It flipped back face down. Oh, there's that Five of Cups. Oh, one of my least favorite cards just showed up. It wasn't the Lover's card. That's weird. It doesn't look anything like the Lover's card, but I swear my brain or my psychic brain went Lover's card. So it might be a relationship in the midst of this too. But anyway, Eight of Swords in reverse, Eight of Pentacles, and Five of Cups in reverse. And like this process, this letting go of the emotions, the anxiety, the stress around some scarcity issue or financial issue, or allowing yourself to uproot a problem that has been very deeply rooted into you from an emotional standpoint. Going through that whole process, you're setting yourself free, and it's almost like you're I'm getting a couple things. Setting yourself free from obligation that's really just kept you stuck and kept you really upset and sad and restricted. Others of you, it's like almost getting out of your own way so that you're not afraid anymore of doing the work that you need to do or putting in the effort you need to put in to move past this, okay? To move on to other things, to just not be in this place where you are restricted or held back or closed off or anxious, whatever it is. It's definitely a loss of some kind though, with the Five of Cups being there. It's grief of some kind. Grief of financial issues, scarcity, grief from being held back and restricted because of something that's been so deeply rooted within you. Some of you have had grief itself deeply rooted within you because it's just been carried through your family or carried on through most of your life. And it's time to get rid of that because it's holding you back. Okay. But I do see moving past fear, and I love it. Moving past the fear of doing what you need to do to be done with it. Okay. To do this whole process. Now, what I didn't like is this guy. Yuck. I know nobody likes the Seven of Swords. Nobody likes the Seven of Swords. I never feel a good thing. Not never. I'm not going to say never. That sounds dramatic. I rarely feel good things from the Seven of Swords. I'm just, because I have such like a resistance to it, sometimes I don't like tapping into it. So let me just tap into this for you. Because you're actually moving beyond the 8. You're moving beyond the 8. This is what was holding you back. That was what was holding you back. Like I said, some of you have taken a financial issue or scarcity issue in your life, and you focus on it so hard mentally that you've distorted it. And you haven't seen it for what it is. You haven't been able to see the solution, to see what 8 of Pentacles you need to step into in order to move past it, right? But that's why this is here. Underneath that, we do have the Ace of Wands. Whoa. And the Knight of Swords. Okay. 2 of Swords. Sorry, this pertains. And the Death card. Death card was one of the cards they showed me earlier too. So that 7 of Swords, it's the illusion. It's the illusion. It's the state of mind. It's a restriction that you have been living with, whether it's self-imposed or it's just been literally rooted in your body, in your energy field. And now it's time to move past it. And what has the 7 of Swords been distorting? It's been distorting your own passion. It's been distorting the Ace of Wands and the Knight of Wands. That is an energy of, I am super excited, I am super passionate, and I want to act now on the things that light me the fuck up. The things that make you excited to get up in the morning. That's what has been getting distorted. The things you actually want. Some of you I'm also getting have been, I'm hearing months. I don't know how many, 6, 8, maybe even longer than that. Months. Struggling to understand what it is the fuck you want. Like, what do I want? What do I want to do? I don't know. And there's a little bit of a numb feeling that I'm getting with that. But that's because this has been in the way. That has been in the way. And again, I feel like it's representing many things. Some kind of emotional or stress or grief associated with financial setbacks or a scarcity mindset, or literally has just been grief that's just been sitting in your body, taking up space and distorting your own passion, your own drive, the thing that makes you excited for life. Now, underneath that, here's what else is interesting. We have the 2 of Swords and the Death card. You are in the 7 of Swords. The illusion that's here is that he's looking at the 2 of Swords and he's carrying the 5, right? So part of the reason this is such an illusionary energy in the context of your reading is you have been at this 2 of Swords. You've been trying to figure out what the truth is, right? What you want, how to be happy, all of that stuff, what's actually holding you back, how to make a change with the Death card. Water signs, you've been on the brink of a big change for a while is how this is coming through to me. But with the 2 of Swords, that tells me you've been holding on to different narratives in your mind. One sword is truth, one is programming, most likely, or one is fear and is part of this illusionary thing, right? So you kind of been stuck here. But part of the illusion that you've been telling yourself with the 5 of Swords, which is ego, by the way, you've been letting the ego tell you, focus. You've been letting the ego for a while now tell you that you can just move past it. It's going to be fine. You can figure it out. You've been letting the ego do the walking and talking, but the ego hasn't been letting you release the thing that's actually been getting in your way, which is the grief. So you've been in the mind. You've been in the mind when you really need to be here so that you can let go of this. So you can set yourself free. Free of the worry, free of the concern, free of the stress, or free of the grief itself. But that's really what's been going on here. Your mind has been keeping you trapped. Your mind has been keeping you from being able to embrace your passion because you've been avoiding some sort of grief of some sort, or stress or anxiety, disappointment, a loss that's been keeping you stuck. Okay? There's a lot going on here for my water signs. Well, let me put all these cards back. It was here, and then it was here. Okay, and it was here. Wow. Okay, I just have to show you underneath the Death card. Look at this. Page of Cups and the Empress. I feel like that Page of Cups is your inner child. It's your heart. It's your heart telling yourself, the Empress, this like very evolved, high vibrational version of yourself, exactly what it wants. What it wants to create, what it wants to bring into the world, to get to a level of abundance and fertility. There's creative energy here. A lot of creative energy here for my water signs. You've been afraid to go there too. Sorry, this is somebody channel messages. This is something else that's coming through. Some of you have been really afraid of your own creative energy. Some of you have been really putting off creative, like acts, I want to say, acts, endeavors, hobbies. Whether, again, that could be so many things. Like creativity is limitless. It's writing, it's painting, it's cooking, it's gardening, it's inventing, it's carpentry. It's like, it's so many different things. This goes hand in hand with the weekly reading that's coming up too. You've been putting that off. And I have a feeling some of the grief that's been rooted in you, or some of the grief that's associated with your financial struggles or scarcity issues, has a lot to do with suppressing that inner child, suppressing the inner voice, and letting the ego guide you. Because you're scared. And some of that grief is also just from fear. And maybe you were judged, maybe you were criticized for when you did listen to your inner voice, and so you really learned not to. Time to really change that. All right, let's move on to another sign, because there's a lot going on here. Actually, let's do an advice card. Hold on a second. My mouse is doing weird things. Okay. I'm going to do an advice card for each sign. We're going to do the mudras. Let's see what comes in for my water signs. Can I get a card for my water signs, please? You've got nothing to fear, water signs. You got nothing to fear. Can I get a card for my water signs, please? Oh. Oh my God. All right, so you guys actually got a couple. So I'm not surprised. You have the throat chakra card, and then you have contemplation. It's like I said, it's like there's a misoppression of your inner voice. Overall, look, inner truth. Inner truth. The inner you. Right here. Wow. So the mudras, you can utilize these mudras in your own practice. Actually, I think I'll just read them to you. Hold on. Make it easy. You guys know about the throat chakra. I don't need to talk about the throat chakra. Let's go with 31 first. Let's go with the inner truth. Okay. Integrity, truth, communication, brings balance to the throat and vocal cords, assists immune system, opens clear communication, supports balanced metabolism. Hold the left hand cupped facing upward. Bring the right hand palm facing down, cupped over the top, of the left with fingers resting on the outer edge of left thumb. Bring hands into the belly center. I speak my truth clearly with integrity and compassion. I speak my truth clearly with integrity and compassion. I speak my truth clearly with integrity and compassion. Okay. And then contemplation, which is literally the very next one. Integration, balance, meditation, enhances full body balance and health, supports full yogic breath, allows for effortless meditation. Place the left hand in the lap facing up. Lay the back of the right hand onto the fingers of the left hand. Bend the index fingers and align them at the first and second joints. Lightly touch the tips of the index fingers to the tops of the thumbs. Relax the shoulders and lengthen the spine. My mind and body rest in effortless contemplation. My mind and body rest in effortless contemplation. My mind and body rest in effortless contemplation. Time to get out of the headwater signs, into the emotions, into your truth, into your inner voice, your inner child, and just face it. Face it. Let shit go. Let yourself go there. Okay? All right, so moving on. Let me put all of these back. Okay. Okay. Earth, fire, or air? Ooh, fire. Okay, fire. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. My fire signs, my fire signs, my fire signs. What deck do you guys want today? Spellcasting? Okay, we're gonna go spellcasting. Any messages or insights for my fire signs for the weekend? For Aries, Leo, Sag. Oh, suddenly I feel out of breath. Like my heart was racing all of a sudden. I don't know if you guys are having an adrenaline rush or you're doing something exciting. Oh, I'm getting like lightheaded and like, oh, this almost feels like this actually came up in the weekly too. A little bit of like panic attack energy. Either you're pushing yourself too hard or someone's blood pressure is too high. Like something is getting real. Oh God, something's getting really amped up in the body, with you or people around you. What are you doing, fire sign? Any messages or insights from my fire signs? They're showing. Okay, I gotta stop for a second. They're showing me lions. Leo, I'm not surprised, right? But I feel like this goes beyond that. I feel like I'm actually getting references to various cats, pumas, tigers, lions, jaguar, panther, like all kinds of cats are just showing up all of a sudden. You might have a strong connection to cats, not just because of Leos, but even Aries, Sagittarius, you might have a strong connection there. Some of you might start to experience more connection with the Lyrans coming through because they're coming through here all of a sudden. Some of you, I think, are going to be having a moment where you're really asked to step the fuck up. or you have a panic attack because you realize that's the next step. But I feel almost, it's not a challenge. It's not that. It's like a, not a cheerleader energy. It's like a coaching energy that I'm getting here from the Lyrans. Kind of like stepping to you and giving you encouragement, giving you motivation. Like, hey, I see what you're capable of. You can fucking do it. Okay, speaking a lot of French today for some reason. You can do it. And right, like, yeah, but there's a panic there. There's an anxiety there that I'm feeling for some of you. This could also be a bit for people who are going through this around you, but Lyrans are definitely here, definitely at the forefront here. Hold on a second. Some of us are having a hard time leaning into our feminine while we are reforming our masculine. Is like the best way to say that. Now, masculine, feminine, it's like, they're all one, right? We're all one within ourselves. We have very, very infinite many aspects of ourselves, right? But if you wanted to break this down with masculine, feminine, you can. Just having an understanding that like there are many other versions and aspects of ourselves beyond masculine, feminine. But right now, as we gear up for Mercury retrograde, the masculine energy with all of us is going through a reevaluation, a reformation, a growth period, a challenge period, right? It's being like the inner masculine is being called to center stage to evolve and integrate that individually and collectively. But the feminine energy is a big support system in this. And so they're showing me so many flowers is why, and it's just coming through almost as like, thank you, Kuan Yin. I just heard Kuan Yin. Leaning into the feminine, it can really help with this process. And for fire signs, some of you I think have been struggling to do that, and I'm feeling emotional about it. So it's this flip side where there's panic, there's fire, there's even a little bit of anger and aggression. Excuse me, aggression that I'm feeling. But I think that's really coming from pain. That's really coming from discomfort. That's coming from some sort of sadness that is wrapped around, integrated with the feminine. Hold on. A lot of stuff coming in there. Let's continue. I almost want to get my dragon deck for my fire signs. I might do the dragon deck for you guys for advice. Any messages or insights from the fire signs for the weekend? Any messages or insights from my fire signs for the weekend? 8 of Cups. I like seeing it upright like this, though. When the 8 of Cups comes out, we're trying to get to the 10. 8 always leads to the 10. 8 of Cups is leaving some stuff behind that's been holding us up emotionally, emotional baggage, if you will. Really letting that go. Some of you might need a moment to do this, okay? Because I can feel it. You're being called. You're being called. You're being challenged. I'm surprised the Judgment card's not out here. To step up. Step into the spotlight, step into the thing, step into the role, do it, go do it. It's such an eager, prominent push, call, do it. But to do it, you gotta let go of some stuff. Emotional baggage, anxiety, insecurities, those kind of things you've been dragging around with you. It's time to let it go. And again, some of you, this is wrapped up in needing to embrace your own feminine energy as a support system, as a self-care, okay? As a self-care system. It's almost like having a feminine energy look out for you. It's your own feminine energy, but look out for you from a psychic point of view, an intuitive point of view, and emotional nourishment and physical self-care. That's all feminine energy that I feel like is really on the table here that wants to be utilized for this process. But again, to let go and actually step up, you're going to need a minute. Really feeling that for my Leos. Some of you guys are going to need a minute. I'm hearing big battle with the feminine. I keep getting pulled back into this. I'm feeling this more for my Saggies. There's a battle with the feminine. Why? Hearing reconciliation. Yeah, before some of you can really move into this space of reforming masculine, evolving masculine, you need to readdress your relationship with the feminine, within and without. But I'm really feeling that for my Saggies for some reason. Feels like there's a competitive energy there. That to me says distorted masculine, distorted feminine, but that's just how it's coming through. Anyway, moving on. Any other messages or insights from my fire signs? Oh, 6 of Pentacles in reverse. This is what you've been dragging around, fire signs. This is what you've been dragging around. The 6 of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like struggle. It does. It feels like a struggle of you put in, like energy. It feels like energy and time. And it just dissipates. Or it's like you put in 10 and then 20 gets taken out. Like that's how it feels to me, but it feels like energy reserves. It feels like energy reserves. It feels like time. Some of you guys, it could even be money related, fiscal related, because it is the 6 of Pentacles. But I just feel this bag of struggle that you've been dragging around of, I put in so much just to have more taken away from me. Some of you, it's this feeling of being unappreciated, underappreciated, taken advantage of. I'm really feeling that more for my Leos than anyone else. Like you're digging yourself in a hole. Or people get you to dig yourself in a hole, energetically or financially. That's what you're dropping. That's what you need to let go of. Oh, we got a tower. Tower in reverse. This is something that's already happened. Been happening is what I'm hearing. Been happening. Yeah, it's just relating back to the energies I've already been talking about. Like having these events happen where you put something in and then more gets taken away. I'm trying to think of other circumstances where this would happen. Like, let's say you work really hard to make extra money, and then you make that extra money, but then for whatever reason, you have like $30,000 worth of expenses and you're like, what the fuck? Even like that. It just feels like unforeseen events of being taken advantage of or being depleted in some way where you give it your all, and then for some reason it feels like the universe has almost been working against you. Some of you guys, it could just be that too, that narrative of the universe is against me, people are against me, or people take advantage of me, people don't appreciate what I do, people don't appreciate my generosity, they don't get it, they don't get it, they don't get it. And as a reaction, I think some of you have actually become more restrictive. Really feeling this for some of you, where in reaction to these events or circumstances, you've been gripping more, you've been holding things closer, but that's actually been causing more stress. It feels like it's been causing more unhappiness to be so restrictive, to like lessen the generosity or the openness with your energy or your money or your time. And it's from fear, because you don't want to keep putting shit in just to get more taken out. You got to leave that behind. Moving on. Any other messages or insights for my fire signs? Oh, Six of Cups. The past, memories. It's also my patterns card. Again, goes hand in hand with these are events I've been experiencing, have been experiencing, and you've been carrying these feelings around, this narrative around, and keep reacting to it, right? Like I said. There's something else going on here with that Six of Cups. Let's see what else wants to come out of it. Any other messages or insights for my fire signs? There's something else with that Six of Cups. I can feel it. Ooh. So we got the Empress. I like feeling that for you. I want to say, you're still an Empress. You're still an Emperor. There's this feeling of like being devalued or like not respected or underappreciated, like not being able to hold onto your throne, your status, your reputation. Like that's literally how it's coming across. Like the Empress version of you is in the past, but it's not. I really want to emphasize that. It's not. Overall, you have the Nine of Wands. Oh, you are in survival mode, fire signs. Holy crap, with the Four of Wands, which means there's a Five of Wands there. You're in fight mode. You're in fight survival mode for your own stability. And then we have the Ace of Wands with the Hanged Man. A lot of fire going on here for my fire signs. So you're in fight mode to try to maintain what it is you have. You've been fighting, struggling. And with the Ace of Wands and the Hanged Man, I can feel confusion with the Hanged Man. You're just trying so damn hard, and it's this feeling of like nothing you do is working. And don't hate what I'm about to say. Please don't hate me what I'm about to say. This feels a little bit like a test. Feels a little bit like an initiation. And you use whatever words you want to use for it for your own reality. You know, we do manifest our reality, so words are spells, so be careful. I'm going to say initiation. This feels a little bit like an initiation. And initiations can be hard because it can feel like there's a lot of challenge or things that are difficult or maybe not going the way we planned. But initiations are exactly that, so that we can actually, how do I say? We actually can embody the person we're becoming, right? Sometimes we need certain tools. Sometimes we need certain knowledge and experiences that we can only get quite literally through some sort of challenge or some sort of difficulty, so that we know what to do. We know how to handle it. We can see that we can do it. And then we're there. And I'm feeling that for you with the Hangman, actually. I'm feeling a little bit of confusion of why you're working so damn hard. And it's just like, you know, you're barely hanging on. Like, it almost seems like there's a lot of plateau or stagnancy, like no matter how much effort you're putting in, or in fact, like literally digging yourself in a hole financially or with your own energy or time. But it's for the purpose of growth. It's for the purpose of some sort of spiritual awakening, expansion. That's why the Hangman comes out here. But you're in fight mode. The Nine of Wands. You're in fight mode. And yeah, the Six of Cups of the Empress, this definitely has this feeling of like the Empress Emperor version of me is in the past, because you're barely hanging on. I feel like this is even your narrative. The battle with the feminine. Here it is coming up again. The battle with the feminine. Again, really feeling this more so for my Saggies. Patterns. Yeah, patterns and relationships as in the context of feminine energy, your own and other individuals. You could have had some issues with your mother or feminine figures throughout your life or your family that are also coming up and wrapped up in this for you. They need to let go of. Overall, like I said, the first card out, 8 of Cups, you're leaving this shit behind. Okay, you're leaving it behind. You're moving towards the 10. It's letting go of the struggle. It's letting go of the emotional baggage. It's letting go of distorted ways of relating to the feminine or not utilizing your own feminine energy and getting out of fight mode here. I'm just being honest. This really feels like an initiation of some kind. And I feel like it's coming to a close soon. I do. With the 8 of Cups being there, I feel like it's coming to a close soon. Let's pull an advice card for you. I was drawn to the dragons. Am I still drawn to dragons? I'm drawn to Isis now because all this like feminine talk. Dragons or Isis? Dragons or Isis? Ugh, so torn. I feel both so strongly. Maybe we'll just do both. Let's do dragons. Okay. Can I get a card for my fire signs, please? For the weekend. Can I get a card for my fire signs for the weekend? Ooh, golden solar dragon. So cool for fire signs to get this. Helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. I feel like one more wants to come out for you. Again, I'm really feeling, yes, our masculine energy is being called to the forefront. You're being called to the forefront. The feminine is the supporting key there. And some of you really do need to reflect on your relationship with your own feminine energy and other people's as well, in order to have the support for yourself. Okay. You know who you are. You don't even need to tell you who you are. With that. Any other messages for my fire signs? I got another one. I figured it was just one more. We have golden orange dragon. Get all this solar gold fire energy going on. Expands your light for ascension. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need. Remember your magnificence. Yeah, this is a call. This is a, hey, fire sign. Step into it. You're ready. Own it. Do it. You got this. It's the call. It's the call. It's the call. It's the call. Okay, but here are the 2 dragons that came out for you. Overall, I do want to point this out because I think it's interesting. You do have the earth dragon, which is a cool image. Clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded. Be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing. You can move forward in life. Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. Like the struggle period for you, I think is coming to a close, but you're definitely being called to the forefront. So do what you got to do to be ready for that. Okay? All right. Who next? Earth or air? Get a sip first. Okay. Whew. Oh, I didn't do Isis. Oh, clearly it wasn't needed. So, Earth. We're going to go with Earth. So Cappies, Tauruses, and Virgos. Cappy is what you call me really quickly. Earth signs for the weekend. I feel like you guys are moving like Scorpios. There's something about your energy that feels really like powerful, intense, captivating, but you're so quiet. That's how it's feeling to me. Like you're thinking a lot, you're seeing a lot, you're observing a lot. I feel like you're getting ready to do a lot. Even if you are doing a lot, you're not like divulging. You're not divulging. What are you up to, Earth signs? What are you up to? What deck do you guys want for my Earth signs? We're going to go with the Runic Tarot. For Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Messages or insights for my Earth signs for the weekend. You know, kind of like water signs, I feel like you have very healthy You're having a lot of boundaries. You're having a lot of space. Even if you're out in public with people, there's something about your energy field that it's like you can't penetrate the earth signs energy field this weekend is how it feels. But I don't feel like you're in an emotional place with it. I feel like you're literally in the perceptive state of just taking in information like a little computer. Yeah, very scorpionic. Very, very scorpionic. We don't have anything in Scorpio right now. Any messages or insights for my earth signs? Earth signs. Maybe you're dealing with a fire sign. Earth signs: Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo for the weekend. Earth signs. Oh, I knew it. Wow. Oh, Earth signs, strap yourselves in. High Priestess and the Chariot. So first of all, this is exactly what I was feeling with you. Quiet, observant, can see all, understand all right now, keeping it close to your chest. But look what's underneath that, the freaking Chariot, man. Like I said, I could feel with you. You want to do a lot. Like there's something about your energy where, yes, you're quiet on the surface this weekend, but the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning. You got some ideas. You're ready to kind of put stuff into action. You're like, you're ready. You're ready. And I feel like you're also like actually speaking with quite a few people to get more information and insight. And I think also to see who you want to take along for the ride. Very cool. Some of you, this is also going to come across as an ascension of sorts, or downloads, or spiritual upgrade, expansion, that sort of deal, advancement with your own abilities. So some of you guys, that's definitely going to be the case. Okay. But you're planning secret moves. And some of these moves are coming through downloads. Like I said, it's like a very deep, almost scorpionic, just understanding and analytics and just taking in information and just processing the shit out of shit. Processing the shit out of shit. All right, any other messages or insights for my earth signs for this weekend? Remember I said fire signs? Queen of Wands and Judgment. You know, very similar to fire signs. You guys are clearly getting a call to with the Judgment card, and you're listening. Like you have 3 out of 4 cards, major arcana, and big ones. High Priestess, the Judgment card, and Chariot. Those are big majors. I guess they're all big technically, but I feel like some are way more like, whoa, that one just came out, you know? But you're listening. You're really listening. You're really taking it in, and it's almost like you're getting the download, you're getting the plan, and you're starting to like warm up the body. You know, like if you're in the locker room and the coach is talking to you, you're like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, I got this. You're putting your shoes on, you're getting your, you know, whatever uniform on, and then you're going to go ready to sprint. Like that's how it feels to me for my earth signs. This is crazy. This is crazy for my earth signs. That Queen of Wands really stands out. That is Aries energy. I would actually look to see for yourself where Aries is. Like if, you know, whatever your rising sign is, I would pay attention to where Aries is for you. There could be something really big going down there. Jupiter is there in Aries, 0 to 5 degrees. That's where I would look. There's something really powerful there. Earth signs, some of you going into the weekend, I think, are also finishing a process similar to, was it water? Similar to water signs, where you're going through a bit of a shift yourself or a transformation. And I feel like that's recent past. And it's almost like you can feel like there's like another change coming, or there's some opportunity coming. You could feel it, but you can't put your finger on it. And what it is it's coming through as a download. It's coming through as a spiritual push and a light bulb moment. And the second it hits, you're just so ready. You're so prepared. But it's after going through some sort of transformation in recent past. I want to say sometime in the last like 3 months. And then you're in this like transitionary period where you're just kind of waiting. Like you've gone through the transformation, and then you're just kind of sitting and waiting, anticipating, because you could just feel it. And then boom, it's here. Wow. And the level of motivation and confidence you're getting to here as the Queen of Wands, like the more the downloads are coming in, the more connected you feel to yourself and the more connected you feel to spirit. I'm also hearing mission, connected to your personal mission. Like you're just getting to this place where you are irresistible to other people who are meant to help you on the path. You're just attracting opportunities left and right. Yeah, manifesting like crazy. You're making shit happen. It's almost like things suddenly become really easy. Wow. Anything else for my earth signs? I'll show you guys in a second. I can't hide my reactions. I can't. It's impossible. Not impossible. Just don't want to exert the energy. Wow. So one other card came out. The Two of Cups. So like I said, along this path, you're also attracting opportunities and people and relationships. The Two of Cups can also be seen as a relationship between you and yourself in such a general reading, but more so, it speaks of other people and how you're connecting with them on a soul level. And with it being in this position, it definitely feels really beautiful. It feels really harmonious is the word that's coming through. Harmonious and mutual, kind of like magnets. You might meet this person this weekend. Yeah, especially with judgment being here, this definitely feels like divine intervention's playing a role, and you are very attractive here as the Queen of Wands. And this person might just fall out of the sky. And I heard, or through the phone. Okay, or through the phone. This might be something that also plays out over time. Because while some of you, this is someone who's just like popping up out of nowhere, I'm also getting for some of you, this is somebody you actually know. But because you've gone through this transformation and you're also having this moment of serious activation from a divine standpoint, that the people around you might have a domino effect. The people around you, there might be a domino effect. And so this individual might be experiencing that on their end, where suddenly they're activated or they're getting an upgrade or they're going through an ascension and something just clicks. Yeah, it's like things just fall into place and it just clicks. Overall, we do have temperance. I love it. I just keep getting harmony with you, earth signs. Oh, God, sorry. Hold on. It's going to annoy the shit out of me. Give me a second. Okay, it's about to die anyway. All right. But yeah, harmony. Harmony is the key word for my earth signs here. Harmony, activation, making moves, you on fire. Okay. But harmony, 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 things falling into place. It feels really nice. Feels really nice. Also, I'm noticing underneath that we do have the Eight of Cups. Again, this letting go of baggage and things that have been weighing you down. Very similar to really fire signs and water signs. Okay. Also goes hand in hand with the astrology at play. All right, so let's get an advice card for you. Like you need it. Don't think you really need it, earth signs. Let's go with the Rose Oracle. I do love this deck. I'm trying to get the decks updated, by the way, because I have some new ones that I've been using. So if they're not up by the time you watch this, I'll do it eventually. I didn't have another way to like say that. All right. Can I get a card for my earth signs, please? Any advice for my earth signs? Let's see. The Mystic Rose. Compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. I know I love the illustrations, right? They're so awesome. The rose was a symbol of the goddess of old, so it's no wonder that when Christianity absorbed large parts of the indigenous Celtic traditions in Europe, the mother goddess Mother Mary became associated with the rose. Perhaps the reason Mary is so beloved is because she was the only mother goddess who could be worshipped safely, and as such carries with her the devotion and yearning of all those who longed to worship the goddess in a feminine form. Mary's connection with the rose is seen in some of her titles, including Rosa Mystica, the mystic rose, and the rose without thorns. Like those of the pagan goddesses before her, the processions that honored Mary involved walking on rose petals. The church altered the stories of goddesses past, including those that featured roses, such as Aphrodite turning the white rose red with her blood, putting Mary in the goddess's place. Churches were erected all over Europe and beyond, in many cases on the site of Celtic temples and places of goddess worship. Many had beautiful rose windows in the west, the direction of the feminine, in dedication to Mary, Mother of the Rose. This is a card of compassion, devotion, and grace. It encourages us to soften toward humanity and to endeavor to see the world, and even those who have hurt us, with understanding and open heart and deep humility, to see that we all carry hurt and are wounded. We have all experienced severing. Mother Mary is inviting you to open your heart to humanity when you most want to close. Remember what I was saying? It feels like you've recently gone through some sort of a transformational shift of some kind before entering into this crazy, like, wapa sort of energy. I feel like this is to help you through the transition into the wapa, to be able to get back into sitting in love, to sitting in compassion, to sitting in openness, and to allow yourself to share that with people, because you are attracting a lot to you, but only after a period of going through a transformation, and only after, and also preceding that, a period of being quiet and receptive and getting downloads and being a little bit in an isolated space. And with, especially with this Two of Cups right here next to the Queen of Wands and Judgment, there's opportunities coming your way that could be really significant to your path, that the divine is clearly hell-bent on getting on in your path. Be open to it. Be open to it. You never know what could happen. I'm not saying commit, right? That's different. Committing and obligating yourself is very different to being open and receptive to something, but be open and receptive. Okay, there could also be something about this Two of Cups energy with this person or persons. I mean, it's going to be multiple people. That could be very triggering for you with that Judgment card, something that could be kind of karmic tasting about it. So just to be aware of that. All right. Okay. Last but not least, air signs. Hello, air signs. Hello. Running out of space over here. Okay. A little bit of more water. So I don't know what that was. Okay. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius for the weekend. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I'm already getting a couple things. For one, I feel very feminine energy with you, a very beautiful kind of energy with you, almost Venusian in nature, which I didn't expect to be coming through just based off the astrology. And that feels really nice. I feel like this is a juxtaposition, almost like two sides of the table, because I also feel this a little abrasive, like kind of Queen of Swords in reverse, kind of tactless, irresponsible is where this is coming through, kind of communication style. So you could be on the receiving end of one of these or the giving end of one of these. You could experience both over the weekend. How do I want to say this? There's a way to be firm, to get your point across in that sort of masculine way, without it being abrasive, without it being offensive, right? You could be very direct and still very human at the same time. Not necessarily soft, that's not the right word, but just, you understand what I'm saying, right? It's like you could always be considerate of the other person while still not yielding on your truth, right? And your needs and your boundaries. I feel like there's a big lesson in there for my air signs. Let's go ahead and pull some cards. I'm going to have light series for you guys. Any messages or insights from my air signs for the weekend? Any messages from my air signs over the weekend? I'd be shocked if the Queen of Swords did not come out. I'm really feeling strong Queen of Swords energy with you. Ooh. So we have 4 of Pentacles coming out here. What are you not sharing? um, this feels a little bit like how water signs felt. Like there's like a protecting of the self, a feeling like you need to protect yourself or protect something, keep something close to your chest, quite literally, is how this is feeling to me. Uh, yeah. Yeah. That's how that's feeling. Okay. Okay. You don't got to share everything. I totally get it. Any messages or insights? Ooh. And we have the 5 of Swords in reverse. Wow. Okay. So something clearly happened here, air signs, that triggered you. Okay. Something happened that triggered you, whether it was a long time ago or it's something in recent past or even presently. And what's interesting to me is like, this feels like somebody who doesn't feel safe to resolve it, doesn't feel safe to have the conversation, to let bygones be bygones and to resolve things and put things away and accept and forgive and move on. You want to, but you don't feel safe to. That's how this feels to me. You want to, but you don't feel safe to. Some of you have really been feeling this over and over and over. For those of you who've been holding on to it for a long time, but you've been also trying to be in denial about it, trying to ignore it, like almost like this feeling of, well, there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm just going to let it be, but it's sitting there. You know, it's sitting there for a reason. Yeah, let's keep going. It's funny because sometimes when I feel those energies, like 2 polar opposites, like literally 2 people sitting on opposite sides of the table, normally that indicates to me some kind of fight has happened or conflict is about to happen. Any other messages or insights? Oh, yeah, the Sun in reverse. You're not optimistic about having this resolved. As far as dealing with the person, trying to confront the person, talk to the person, you're not feeling very comfortable about it. This also tells me in general, some of you have a pessimistic viewpoint of being vulnerable with people. Like it's just generally not a good idea. Some of you really feel that way, but mostly I feel like there's, for most of you, that there has been some sort of fight or conflict or disappointment, something that has triggered you, some sort of event, and it's left you feeling like it's not safe to share. It's not safe to talk. It's not safe to resolve it. And so you've just been kind of silently dealing with it or really not dealing with it. You can let this go on your own without talking to the person. But it requires you to really like open that door of vulnerability and disappointment and hurt, to let it go and just see it for what it is, and not hold on to it so much anymore. But you've clearly been holding on to this or harboring these feelings is probably the best way to say that. Any other messages or insights for my air signs? And again, some of you, this is just an overall pessimistic view of being vulnerable. Like it's just not safe to do it. Ooh, we got a fat stack that just came out. That wanted to come out. There we go. All right. Ooh, the overall. Okay. Not terrible. It's good. It's good. I was just kind of feeling it out. Sorry, these cards are thick. I just want to make sure there weren't other cards there. So we have the Death card in reverse with the 3 of Pentacles in reverse and the 3 of Cups. So like I said, you feel really like it's not safe to talk. It's not safe to resolve. I'm just living with this, or overly pessimistic viewpoint of the world of just like, I can't really be vulnerable with people, but you want to be. You want to be. That 3 of Cups upright with the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, you want things to be cool again. If this happened between you and multiple people or a group of friends, or again, just you and one person, it's like, you want at least to just like say, hey, can we just let this go? Can we at least just be cool? Even if we're not the same, like we can't have the same kind of relationship anymore or hang out anymore. Can things just be cool? Like you deep down really want that, but you're really resistant to trying with the Death card in reverse. You're really resistant to trying. For those of you with this pessimistic viewpoint of you can't really be vulnerable with people, again, you'd like to be. You like to have the 3 of Cups in your life. You like to have this emotional support system go back and forth, but that requires you to make a change. That requires you to start making the effort to put yourself out there with people and to try. But this is telling me you haven't been doing that. Now, we do have the Page of Wands. Feeling a little bit like inner child energy, excitement for fun, for play, for adventure, for good times, coming out here, kind of urging you to be like, hey, come on, let's try. Let's try to talk to them about it. Or let's go try to like hang out with people and like make friends and just have some fun and just see where that goes. It's this desire for fun and connection that's coming through here with the Page of Wands. You want it, air signs. You want it. So it might be time to just sit down and have a conversation with yourself first. A reality check is really what I'm getting. A reality check on your role in it and your willingness to do it or not to do it. And just start there. Now, if this is more about like something happened between you and somebody, it's up to you. You can let go of these feelings without having to deal with these people. If you want to try to talk to them, if you want them in your life, have the conversation. Give it a try. And if they're not open, they're not open. You can't do anything about that. But if you do want someone in your life and it's healthy, always give it a try. Then you can say you tried. But if you don't want them in your life, but you don't want to feel this way anymore, have the conversation with yourself. Okay? Because it's clearly holding you back in some way, shape, or form as it relates to being vulnerable with people or having emotional support systems in your life here, okay? And your inner child is begging for fun. Now, the overall energy. I know. 2 of Cups in reverse with, of course, the World in reverse. Wow, with the 7 of Wands in reverse. The World being here tells me that it's a lesson for you. It's a lesson for you. It's also part of a big cycle for some of you, whether it's about this conflict within one relationship and this cycle within this relationship needs to end and maybe a lesson goes with it, or it's a pattern, right? You've been pessimistic with being vulnerable with people. No matter how it is for you, it's time to be brave. The 7 of Wands in reverse tells me you've been avoiding this. You haven't been really wanting to face it. It's time to face it. Be a little courageous, go there with yourself. And then if you want to go there with another person, go there with another person. But to be honest with your role in this and how you want things to change, how you want it to be different, and then start to strive for that. To strive for that change and strive for that difference. Okay? All right, let's get an advice card for you guys. Oh, let's go with the Gaia Oracle. Can I get an advice card for my air signs, please, regarding this spread? Can I get an advice card, please, for my air signs regarding this spread? Nine of Hearts. Fulfillment, harmony, and protection. Things can work out. You can have emotional fulfillment, contentment. You can have the things that you really want deep down. You just have to give yourself permission and also be honest with yourself, right? Like I was saying, in what is required of you to have those things. Because there are also times when we want things, but we're not the person who can have those things yet. Because we haven't worked on something or we haven't experienced something or we're ignoring something, right? So having those honest moments are really key here. I'm going to go ahead and read this one to you. I don't even know what to call this weekend reading. This card signifies success, emotional fulfillment, and wisdom. Something that is dear to you or something that you are working towards has a positive outcome. This leads to a period of peace and harmony and a deep sense of personal satisfaction and emotional fulfillment. That which you strive to create and achieve is granted and all is protected along the way. The light shines upon you. All is blessed. You can move forward with confidence. There's affirmations that go with these cards as well, and I like to read them when I read these cards, so I'm going to go ahead and read it 3 times. You can write it down, you can just sit and receive it, relax, and just feel it around you, embody it, or go back to this anytime you want to hear it, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I am blessed, I am protected, I am grateful, I am fulfilled, I am loved. I am blessed, I am protected, I am grateful, I am fulfilled, I am love. I am blessed. I am protected. I am grateful. I am fulfilled. I am love. Okay. All right, air signs and everyone else who's listening. Thank you guys for checking this out. I hope you really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you guys very soon. Okay. Take care, guys. Bye.